What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Destructive News. News, no matter how destructive. And we're going to take a look at a story here from the police. This is the Greenwich Time. Good Samaritan helped stop robbery of woman who purchased electronics on Greenwich Avenue. Take a look here. Got the cop standing there on the corner. Two men tried to rob a woman coming out of a Greenwich Avenue store Monday afternoon, but they gave up after a bystander intervened, police said, because the police were not available. The woman purchased electronics from a store in Greenwich Avenue and was headed out the door at about 4:30 p.m. Monday. Greenwich police said the woman was followed by two men who had also been in the store, police said. The two suspects then attempted to forcibly take the items that the victim had just purchased. No weapons were involved in the incident, police said, and the woman and her family member attempted to stop the theft physically. During the struggle, a bystander helped fend off the two men attempting to rob the woman. The two then fled and were last seen running south on Green. The two men got into a silver sedan on Grigg Street. Police said, dang, the writing of this story is so annoying. The woman was taken to a hospital with minor injuries. The men were described as tall and thin and under the age of 30. Police said one of the men was dressed in dark clothing while the other was wearing dark pants and a pink hoodie. First Selectman Fred Camillo sent out a statement Tuesday on the criminal activity, noting that the police had extensive resources on the avenue. Extensive resources, but can't give a really good description, weren't there, and the criminals who did a attack on a woman in the middle of the day coming out of a popular area, they got away. And when they say the police have extensive resources, I probably guess they're talking about their police department budget and how much money they're stealing from that community while providing them with little to no help. Let's take a look at the video. There's video of it, of course. In downtown Greenwich, Connecticut, a woman is robbed by a Democrat in broad daylight. Let's take a look here. All right, so let's see. Looks like dreads. Looks like a Sunman. Looks like a Sunman. Look at the reaction here, though. But look, he just comes and just starts beating on this older woman, completely defenseless. And look at this guy. Her husband is kind of just like, what? He's standing in between her and him, but he's really not doing anything to protect his wife. It's very, very, no one really knows what they're going to do unless they've been in these situations. Have you been in this situation? What did you do? I've been in situations like this. I jump to action quick, and I'm not messing around. I am the type to push the lady down, out of the way, and it's me and you. It's go time. But in this situation, they seem to have a good community because a guy risked everything to come to the people's defense and chased the guy down. And it looks like he grabbed her like pocketbook or something. So let's play it.
She took her phone, dude.
He took her phone. Look at that. Bam. They think it's funny. They think this is hilarious. But I'm telling you, this is not hilarious. This is an epidemic. This is worse than COVID. These, quote, brazen attacks in the middle of the day from sun people, vampires, against unsuspecting, normal, everyday people, including, but not limited to, defenseless, elderly white people. Gliders is what they call them in Act Nation. The gliders. We're gonna stick to that. They attacked these glacier gliders in Asian hate, man. There's a lot of attacks on Asians. There was a guy murdered by two 13-year-olds, I believe, shot on video and killed, and they didn't even take the car. They ran off. This is probably the biggest problem in America right now that is not being covered fairly. They're not telling the truth. And when they do, they give excuses. So let's look at this. So I don't know, did he stop him? I think he still got away with the phone. I think he snatched her phone is what happened. He didn't get her purse, but he took her phone. That's crazy. I mean, again, this is exciting to the people. I mean, I'm glad that they recorded it, but people live in this bubble where they believe that they're a good person and nothing bad is going to happen to them. And if it does, they don't know what happens. This woman was brutally attacked. Like, she wasn't physically assaulted, so to speak. She was, but she didn't have big injuries. But this event will live with her for the rest of her life. Being attacked, being violated, even with your significant other, who is an adult male of decent size, she wasn't able to be defended. She's vulnerable, and she knows she is. What does her future look like? Will she be confident enough to ever leave the house alone? Will she have nightmares? Will she need counseling and therapy? Will she have scrapes and bruises, maybe scars that will also trigger and remind her of this moment for the rest of her life every single day? These are the things that people don't want to talk about. They want to get to the action. They want to say, hey, she's okay. He just got a phone. She can go to the AT&T store or whatever and get another one. They're rich. They live in Greenwich, Connecticut. Yeah, maybe those things are true, right? But no one talks about the physical and mental toll that this attack will play in this woman's life. Every time she's in public, she will have no other choice but to think about this incident. Will it change her? Will it change her to believe that skinny, young Sun people are a threat? Are Sun people a threat to her? In this instance, in this case, yes. But how far will she take it? Will she become a racist? And if she does, do we blame her? I don't know, man. You let me know in the comments section. We're going to start from the beginning and play it back.
Took her phone, dude.
I mean, the shrieking, that's fear, man. And you got some guys that are kind of just like, I don't know what I should do. I don't know what that guy's doing. He like ran back in the store.
Took her phone, dude.
It's terrifying to her. Kids are scared. They don't know what's going on. They're calling for their mom. It's just not good. It's not a good situation. Let's take a look at the comments, see are the replies. The robber is outnumbered 4-1, and only one guy does something. Any country can easily take us over. Well, in those Democrat zones, yeah. If they start there, then yeah, they got a pretty good chance of taking the country. I don't get the other guys not doing anything. I get not being the one starting the chase, but once that dude is on the ground, what the hell? Just help a bit. I see what you did there. If you're not a PR professional, you should be. Good find. Did a piece on it and included your tweet. Oh, okay. Look at that. That's cool. A brazen broad daylight robbery. Okay. He looked 80 pounds and you couldn't hold him down. He got that sun strength, man. It's coming straight from the sun. Got them sun rays, man. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at Greenwich, Kentucky. as a town in southwestern Fairfield County, Connecticut, United States. So in Connecticut, it's this red. This is the red thing. It's the county, and Greenwich is down right there, right on the bay. That's nice. That's like a little nice New England area. Usually that part of the country is a bunch of rich people. The government there, looks like we got first selectman, select woman. They have a representative town meeting. Okay. I guess that's kind of like they're like mayor, I guess. They're Republican. That's cool. Is an American politician who served the first select in the Greenwich County since 2019. He has previously served in the Connecticut House of Representatives. Okay. So he used to be a rep, and he's now their first select. I'm guessing that's like a mayor to them. And it looks like they have a select woman. And they are that little carve out appears to be Republican. They have two Republican government representatives locally there in the city. So we're skipped to the good part, right? Let's take a look at demographics. At the 2020 U.S. Census, there were 63,000 people in Greenwich. Per the American Community Survey 2018's estimates, the population of Greenwich grew to 62,000 people. That is not big. That's a small city. There were 24,000 housing units, 22,000 households. Yeah, that's interesting. So the apartments to houses are pretty split. 16,000 families. The racial makeup, the good part. Glacier gliders make up 72, a whopping 72%. Sun people, 3.3% of the population. 3.3. What is the math on a sun person attacking a glacier glider? 3% attacking 72. And you just, in the middle of the day, you get to just attack them and ride off into the sunset, and the police show up later and they don't know what the heck is going on. Let's take a look. I like this website. Data USA kind of gives us a good idea of the makeup of this place. Of course, the state has liberal government at the state level. Richard Blumenthal, he's very popular, a clown in my opinion. But the population, I don't understand what that's about. That's definitely off. But I know these numbers are off, except for this one. This one's pretty good, depending on what type of household, how you're calculating that. But the property values are pretty dang high. Let's take a look at wealth. Look at this. The average adjusted gross income. Greenwich is home of two of the wealthiest zip codes in Connecticut. This is a very high wealth area. Over $500,000 average median household income. So, and median household incomes of 109. And okay, so that's just the way that this is the average adjusted gross incomes. That's good. 155. Recent decade, the town has attracted wealthy expats from around the globe due to its extremely low tax rate, its school system, and proximity to Manhattan. So you can easily get to New York. So a lot of really wealthy people from New York that work and play in Manhattan, they can go and they can live in a nice small town and own a nice big house with a yard, have low taxes, and feel relatively safe and have that home feel, and not the noisy, loud New York with the violence and the street gangs. But the issue is, when you move out there, the Sun people will follow. They'll follow the wealth if they have access to it. So if they can take a bus out there, if they can take a train and get out there, if you have public transportation and you can get to those places with relative ease and low cost, then you're going to have a threat of Sun people where you are if you live in these wealthy carve-outs, depending on how they're designed. I pick places where there's no public transportation. That's what I would recommend doing. If you're going to move to a place, if you're looking to get out of where you are, Make sure that your city is playing ball. Avoid Democrat-run cities. That's a really good tip I can give you. Also, public transportation serves two classes, the elderly and the low income. So if you have a city that is serving low income persons, probably want to avoid that. And no, I'm not disparaging the poor. I am giving you advice for a person that is looking to elevate themselves and move away from all as much negativity, violence, degen culture and behavior as possible. Just give yourself the best chance. I don't have anything against, the city taking care of poor people, but in a perfect world, if you have the ability, just get away from it. Move away from it. Support it from afar. If you want to donate your income to serve people unfortunate or low income, I definitely say do it. It's a great feeling. You feel like you're doing your part. Go ahead and do it, but you don't have to live with them. Get out of those communities. Look for places, small cities that don't have public transportation. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be small. If you're in Texas, there's a lot of really big cities that have like hundreds of thousands of people that don't have public transportation, don't serve the low income, don't provide public housing. Look for places that don't do public housing. I think a big problem with this place is the household to the homes to household, so apartments and homes. They're pretty even. I think that's probably a big part of their issue. If you got an apartment, probably find the cheapest apartment there. That's probably going to be a source of Sunman crime. So those are things to look for. I am going to try to do a better job of reporting stories, giving you breakdowns, talking about the culture, talking about the demographics, and giving you tips on what you can do to avoid these situations and talk about the crime in a real and fair way and not try to cover up and sugarcoat things. We're talking about things for real. We're not playing around. We're not doing what CNN does and MSNBC and make excuses to why they're doing this. This is unacceptable. This is dangerous for both parties. Someone, somewhere with some guts is going to defend themselves, and he's going to find himself in a box if he doesn't stop and change his ways. But I'd like to thank you for sticking with me. Hit that like, hit the share. Hope you like the new look. I'm still building. We're still growing. And we hope to see you in the future. Peace.